Ethereum is a security? Yes, according to New York AG. That article and the train wreck known as Silvergate Capital, as well as several other articles today on OG Crypto and NFTs. Welcome everyone. My name is Troy, and every day, Monday through Friday, we go over the latest news in digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and NFT non-fungible tokens. Now, before we jump into it today, in an action-packed video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Boom, 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 boom. We're gonna give you the best 5 to 10 minutes in this space on a daily basis. Let's jump right into it. It's just breaking news, 1:15, it's less than an hour ago. New York Attorney General alleges Ethereum is a security in KuCoin lawsuit. The press release says the lawsuit was part of an ongoing effort to crack down on unregistered cryptocurrency platforms. Wow, this is crazy. I mean, this is the problem. Nobody has regulation. Regulation by enforcement is a complete joke by the SEC. The CFTC has no clue what they're doing. They're wandering around like a zombie. And of course, for the past 2 years, past 2.5 years, you've had Congress just doesn't want to touch it because they were making too much money on contributions from Sam Bankman-Fried, and all of a sudden it comes collapsing around them, and now they're pointing the fingers at everything, but they're not wanting to do anything. This is a mess. I mean, Bill Hinman said back in 2018 that Ethereum and Bitcoin were not securities, they were commodities. Then we've heard Gary Gensler, the current SEC commissioner, say that everything but Bitcoin can possibly be a security. We're just hearing, I mean, there is no consistency here. This just proves that it is the Wild West in crypto, and the regulator and Congress and the CFTC have all failed us. Next, another big failure here. Silvergate Capital will liquidate after crypto collapse, wipes out bank. We actually report on this. It happened just minutes after we had recorded yesterday. And before we recorded, so I report on this. Silvergate is going down, and this is going to make it harder and harder to transfer money and crypto from exchange to exchange, to person, to bank, and it's going to clog the wheel. We saw that Signature Bank said that they don't want to do any crypto outside of $100,000 plus in U.S. currency. So we're just going to see the slowdown and the choke point, the choking off the monies going from users and VCs and exchanges and marketplace, all going to start slowing down, and it's going to be harder. That's why let's take a look at what the market did today. Bitcoin, tell us how you doing, buddy. Oops, well, let's go take a look at this, man. What a mess this is. Right, there's Bitcoin. Let's go, oops, gotta pull it over to the side here. So a trading view. Well, for a year, Bitcoin's been down 47% in the last 12 months. Wow, that's crazy. So we're looking at that up to, if we're looking at it, we just saw this big 1,000-point candle go right down into the ground. We've seen a little bit of retracement here. We're at 20,336. Actually, it's at 20,400. It's starting to make a little bit of a little gain here, but we all know that there's just so much negativity around the crypto space, and especially Bitcoin. And again, I'm going to say it again. You have Silvergate just took a dump. We know that we're going to see what GBTC or the Grayscale, what's going to happen with them. But more importantly, the federal government, we report on yesterday, owns the third most Bitcoin, and they're already moved it to the exchange. And 9,000 coins to the exchange, and then put another 39,000 into another wallet. Looks like they're about ready to sell all that off. And then, of course, you have Mt. Gox, which on the 10th, which I believe today, it's like 2 days away, that everyone has to make a decision on if they want to custody their crypto or they want it being sold off as well. So this is what we expected to happen. I mean, Bitcoin, is the most manipulated asset in the world, and it's so easy to manipulate it. When I hear Bitcoin Maxi say, "Oh, there's no supply," well, guess what happens when there's no supply? It's full manipulation. So if you're not regulating it, how do you put it on an exchange, New York Stock Exchange, or a publicly traded exchange in which its regulation is involved? You can't, because you have bad actors everywhere. everywhere. You have wash trading. You have all kinds of stuff. And the regulator has failed us all the way through. And why has the regulator failed us? Well, because he's trying to save all his boys up there in Bankland. Oops, let's go bring this down. Let's go see there we go. JP Morgan remains negative on crypto, and he says, here's why. And they're negative because they're continually seeing, they continually report that all the collapses of all the banks and all the yield farms and all the companies out there. And I keep telling JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon, who, by the way, needs to go figure out what happened on that island with that guy I can't say or they'll ban me. What's going on, Jamie? What? You did some little nasty things there? We'll talk about that. We'll just talk about how you want to divert a little bit of marketing or a little bit of your spotlight off of you and right onto JP Morgan saying that it's negative. Well, let's be very honest. Instead of being negative, you should be negative on crypto. You should be negative on the people that actually should be overseeing it. You should be negative on Congress. You should be negative on the regulator. They have completely failed us. There are no rules to the road. Brad Garlinghouse had said it, on Bloomberg 3 nights ago, saying that it's a complete mess here in the United States. And then Gary Gensler came on literally 24 hours later to dispute him, and Gary spewed nothing out of his mouth. It was a nothing burger. He couldn't tell any of us what regulations are. Keeps going back to the Howey test. Dude, seriously, 80 years ago there was no internet. 80 years ago there wasn't any digital code. And you're telling me you're going to go back 80 years? Man, dude, you're not that dumb. You're not that dumb. You're holding all this up for JP Morgan, and you're holding it up for BlackRock and Vanguard, who has all your money, right? And how'd you get that money, by the way? Well, never mind. That's another question. That's a question my girlfriend asked me, right? So if she's asking me, we should be able to ask, Mr. Gensler, where'd he get his money from, right? Wasn't from his barber. Next. All right, let's bring it on. Yes, lovely Emi. How are you doing, Emi? And talk to us about Vitalik, the NFT collection.
Here I am. Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Well, there we go.
There we go.
Hey, we're almost like Beavis and Butthead.
Come on, camera. Do
It's perfect.
It'll figure itself out. Okay, so Vitalik NFT collection takes top spot on OpenSea. So it's interesting because this collection, even though Vitalik is possibly listed as one of the creators, it seems like it's just his supposed association with it that's driving people to just completely FOMO in, and I think this is just going to be a blip and then it's gone. I don't think this is anything substantial at all. So
if I look at this, I look at it just similar to what Vitalik's done with Ethereum and his bags, right? So what does he do? He pumps them.
And he dumps them.
And then he dumps them on the public. Yeah. He dumped it on the high last year on everybody. And he dumped it again 4 or 5 months ago. So guess what he's going to do if he's even involved? Come on. He doesn't even look involved in this whole thing. He's not talking about it.
So I like this. I really like this meme. I think this is funny. But the only thing that they're showing as him being a creator is this little image here, but I'm not sure how credible this is.
Yeah.
I think OpenSea probably just wants to put something that's selling on their front page. So.
And that's it. It's the hype.
Yeah, it's the hype. It's hype.
Okay,
right. Let's get to the next one because this is one I actually care about talking about. Can you read that for them?
Wow. NFT company Palm teams with Pussy Riot to foster activist art.
Okay, so we spoke about when her name is Nadia, the lead singer from the band Pussy Riot. You're making it big enough so you can see.
Yeah.
So the lead singer from Pussy Riot, she did a collaboration with Shepard Fairey, which is the artist from huge company Obey. They did an NFT collection called Putin's Tears. So now it looks like her next step in digital activism is this team up with Palms. And now what they're doing is very interesting because they want to focus on digital activism as well as curate an upcoming feminist art contest. I love this. This is going to be happening at NFT NYC in April. And they are asking people to submit their artwork into the competition, and the winner will get $1,000 as well as their artwork displayed in a special manner. I'm guessing somewhere at NFT NYC. I think this is really cool. I think Nadia is being very smart with the way she is approaching NFTs and trying to give it a bigger application and purpose, while also empowering topics as well as people that she really cares about. So this is freaking cool to me. It's interesting because here's a quote from her. We are so excited, or excuse me, from the Palms team. It's, yeah, executive director of the Palm Foundation told CoinDesk, we are so excited to have Nadia as our first curator, especially during International Women's Month and right after curating her collection for Sotheby's. Whoa, dude.
Keep reading more.
That is amazing. She has already made a name for herself in the digital art world on top of her career as an activist. This week, curated by a Sotheby's auction in honor of International Women's Day, featuring works from feminist creators in the traditional and Web3 art worlds. In January, she collaborated with fellow artist Shepard Fairey to release an NFT collection to raise money for in Ukraine. I love this. I think this is so freaking cool. I know some people were in the comments when we posted about Pussy Riot, like, why are you guys giving company, That's not the point. The point is that they did something really interesting with this NFT and they're trying to add a different application to it. So I love Nadia. I think she's great. Pussy Riot's a really interesting band, and she's trying to make an actual change through Web3 and digital space technology, which I just think is so freaking cool. That's the most punk rock artist thing you could do.
That's good. I mean, again, you know, everyone has their fight in their life or what they really believe in. And so you know, it's not for me or for anyone to go and turn around and say, well, you're wrong, you're right. My stand is right and your stand is wrong. Guys, you know, when it's all said and done, I mean, I've been to enough of these different conferences where females are sometimes looked at as secondary people.
Of course.
Right? And you're like, well, why, you know, why? And it's because traditional, you know, corporate America is just been experienced males, right?
Yeah.
Let's just be very frank.
Let's just be very frank. Yeah, women are we're still fighting that battle. It's still a thing. And I think when you take the perspective of Nadia was in a Russian labor camp for 6 months. Like, she has a reason to hate Putin as a leader.
Right.
So I think it's very interesting that she's trying to do something about it. She's obviously making money, you know, along the way.
Right.
She's got to eat too. Pussy Riot isn't like a mainstream band that's going to be getting a lot of, you know, advertising deals.
Or downloads on Apple.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could, you know, like, I feel like a lot of counterculture people know who they are, but she's being smart about using Web3, NFTs, and digital assets to take her from kind of like a niche punk rock artist to someone who's making literal headlines on Yahoo Finance.
Right.
I love it. I love it.
Well, fantastic, guys. Thank you very much for joining us today. If you have any comments, leave them below. If you have any hate, just say EMI. Just write my name. Emi. Otherwise, you guys have a fantastic day. It is a red day in the crypto coin world, but guess what? There's always going to be a better day. You guys take care.
Hodl, y'all. Bye.